that a thumbs up or a little limp thumb there?
You're live.
All right, silence. One sec.
Farm, where we don't start the conspiracies, we just add the water. And now, your host of the most state-of-the-art, most informed podcast on the interweb, I present to you Pat Miletich and Jeffrey Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for war?
Sorry about that.
Practice run.
I didn't know it was
Test.
not up there. All right. Give me a second to reset here.
Jeff hadn't sprayed his Banaka yet.
What are you talking about?
All right. We're up. Ready? Okay. Good. Hotkeys are all good. All right. My apologies, guys. All right. 3, 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Conspiracy Farm, where we don't start the conspiracies, we just add the water. And now, your host of the most state-of-the-art, most informed podcast on the interweb, I present to you Pat Miletich and Jeffrey Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for war?
What is up, freaks, farmers, friends, family? How we doing this fine Monday evening? Jeffrey Wilson with you for another episode of the Conspiracy Farm, riding shotgun with my homeboy, UFC Hall of Famer Patrick J. Miletich. What's up, champ?
Well, I hope it's not just friends and family watching. At least I'm doing well. I survived the apocalyptic level of cold.
Yeah, we all did.
Pouring down from the northern region. And
the Arctic, whatever that was, Arctic blast.
Had a water line blow up in my face when I was trying to thaw it with a torch. And no, I'm kidding. It went off like a bomb. And then had fits getting out to do my show in Phoenix. I got to the arena. I think just I don't know, half hour before the show started. And I was supposed to be there on Wednesday. We were going live at 7 p.m. on Friday night, and then I get back and got more issues with the. I mean, we had 30 inches of snow on the ground.
When you come back and it's like 50 degrees, you leave and it's Arctic winter, and come back and it's 50.
I had to drive to Des Moines to fly out and then fly back into there. It was crazy. So anyway, we survived. We're
did.
back. We're Iowans. We're tough.
Damn straight. And today, man, I love having this guy on, man. He's, no shortage of just killer information, killer products on keeping your body healthy. I mean, each time, man, I just learn more and more. He is the CEO of Chemical Free Body, a friend of the show. Many times he's been on. Yeah, guest of the show, sponsor of the show, Tim James. What's up, buddy?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on today. I'm really excited to heat things up a little bit for you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you recognizing and paying attention to what I was saying.
Yeah. We got about 1 hour of snow here in Portland about an hour ago, and that's all we got.
1 hour, huh?
Yeah, and there's nothing on the ground.
Well, you know what? Good for you.
Yeah, no doubt. Don't complain about not having snow. I'm like,
we have global warming over here.
The emerald forests over there in Washington State, man, in Oregon. Wow.
Yeah.
So what's been up, man? Obviously, the New Year's brought some, New Year's resolutions that people have already kind of kicked to the curb, of course. But, you, as a man who, walks the walk, you talk the talk, and, very, inspirational. You have a lot of testimonies of people who changed their life around from your products. What's been up, man? What's the new year looking like, 2019, for Mr. Tim James?
Well, it's been awesome. We're off to a great start. January was our we set a record-breaking month for product sales, and I think that's a direct reflection of how many people are using the products and getting results and spreading the word. A lot of people, of course, at the new year want to make those resolutions, and that's something I want to chat with you guys about today. Because, like over here in our coaching program, when people come to us and they want to make a change in their life, we lock arms with them and we make it happen. I want results. It's like people set these resolutions. It drives me freaking nuts. I'm going to lose 20 pounds, right, in 2017. And then the next year, I'm going to lose 30 pounds because they gain 10 more. And then the next year, it's like 2019, I'm going to lose 40 pounds. And then, unfortunately, statistically, by January 15th, 95% of people have already dropped off those New Year's resolutions.
Yes.
Because they had no steam behind it. They had no plan. They were, they're probably hungover on January 1st, and they're like, I'm going to make some goals and resolutions. I'm going to lose some weight here. And
they probably made those declarations when they were hammered, too, the night before. Like, this is it. I'm going to
Well,
change
but
it
I
all
mean,
around.
and we all know the best hangover remedy is chili dogs.
But I mean, honestly, I mean, that's absolutely true. I mean, I'm not, saying I'm Mr. Goodbite or anything, but those resolutions do so quickly fall by the wayside because you could have all the motivation in the world you want, unless you have discipline to kind of stick to a regimented plan like you talk about all the time. I mean, it's kind of pissing in the wind a little bit.
Well, people just don't know, Jeffrey. They don't know where to start. And I always tell people, it's like, look, or I share with them. I don't tell them. I share with them, like, look, if you're struggling with your relationship with yourself, and you're confused about that, which most people I talk to are, relationships with others. You're not happy in your career, which we know 74% of people are going to work today to jobs they don't like,
right,
just to get a paycheck. That's a sad deal. People are struggling with their finances. They're struggling with spirituality, and they're struggling with their health. The first thing to do, if you're not sure what to do, is focus on your health. Your body is the vehicle that's going to support all that other stuff.
Right.
So if you're listening today and you're confused and you don't know what to do, let's get your health dialed in. Let's get some energy back up into. We're going to be focusing today on cleansing, because I don't want the people listening to, if you have a resolution, you kind of fell off the wagon, then February is going to be the new frickin' January, and we're going to get it done. And I'm going to show you step by step how to clean yourself out. We'll do some daily detoxing and cleansing, and get that spark of life back up in you with some good concentrated nutrition.
Yes.
And build upon that stuff and give these guys and gals that are listening a few, solid tips that work, that are part of a lifestyle. Because it's not like some diet or fad. It's more about lifestyle habits that you're going to do every single day. You don't have to be perfect every day, but you're going to work on these and work on them and make it easy. And then, you know what? 2020 comes, you won't be going, well, I need to lose 50 pounds this year. You'll be like, dude, I got the weight thing handled. My energy's back. I feel freaking fantastic. I'm going to launch my new business. I'm going to get my new relationship going. I'm going to crush my finances. And you can start focusing on things that are really important to you, instead of just constantly going through this hamster wheel of trying to lose weight and trying to get your energy back. And
30-day this, 30-day that.
What's that?
30-day this, 30-day that. I mean, like you said, it has to be a lifestyle. It can't just be like a small little quick fix. You need to alter life, like your habits and lifestyle. Habits.
The problem is they look at it like some, big, huge thing they got to do. It's like, no, we break it down to like the first step, and the first step is water. It's number one. It's never going to change. Your body's mostly made of water. And I know after benchmarking 600 people in my private coaching practice that less than 5% of people are drinking enough of it. And I'm telling you, you're not going to lose weight. If losing weight's one of your goals, or increasing your energy, or you're having brain fog, and you're not drinking enough water. And what you are drinking is freaking polluted. It's polluted. It needs to be purified and cleansed, and there's things we can do about that. So I don't know when we want to jump into
and also not to
how-tos, but
sorry, not to sidetrack you at all, but obviously sleep, water, but the health starts with the gut, correct?
Yeah. Well,
It's huge.
first off, it decides a decision to start loving yourself enough to take some action. But yeah, it's in the gut.
Right, because
Totally in the
and it is our second brain, and that's what most people, the vast majority of people. I mean, I was a professional athlete for a lot of years. I had no idea that was the case. My entire fight career, I had no clue that gut biome dictated how my brain worked.
Yeah, it's pretty important. And the thing of it is I just try to make things easy for people, and because I like things to be simple for myself. I look at my body like a vehicle. It's a car. It's a tractor, right? It's a machine. It's got moving parts. There's things going on. And if I'm driving my car down the road and the check engine light goes on, I don't just keep driving the damn thing, because I know it's going to leave me stranded. It's going to break down, or it's going to have a huge repair bill. I got to get it into the shop now. Get that sucker fixed, maintenance it, flush the engine, flush the transmission fluid, new spark plugs, new fuel filters, all that stuff, and then maintain it. Put some good fuel in it, and it's going to last you. And that's the thing, is we get an owner's manual for cars, but I've never gotten an owner's manual for my body, and most people listening probably didn't either. So that's what we kind of do, is we show people, if you got check body lights going on, like these check engine lights, overweight, fatigue, not doing well, you got cancer, fibromyalgia, diverticulitis, gut issues, all these problems going on, you got to get that car in the shop, your body, and it's going to be up to you to do it, because a lot of people in the medical field are unaware of this stuff, because when you go to them, they think you have lost your ability for your body to regulate itself, and then by de facto they're going to give you a pill to mask a symptom, and you're never going to get to the root cause, which was you're polluted. Okay, your gut's freaking stuffed full of about 6 to 12 pounds of crap. It needs to be cleaned out. Your blood is full of toxic chemicals. Every time I come on, I can show it now because we're on video here.
Yeah.
This is that umbilical toxicity study. This is what blew me away. Every single child being born today that they've tested for chemicals, like they tested 400 chemicals in this one study, they found 287 were in there, and 180 of those cause cancer in humans. 217 are toxic to the brain or nervous system. And these studies keep coming out. So we are polluted. Everybody's polluted. The blood's polluted, the fat's polluted, the muscle tissue's polluted, the gut's polluted, and it's really simple. You got to take it in a shop and you got to clean it out. That's it. And the first thing to start cleaning your body is water. And you want to get that water purified, and you want to get it electrified, and you want to have it restructured. So there's things that we have to do today, living in this modern polluted environment, to clean up our water.
And it doesn't just boil down to obesity. I mean, we are in the midst of a massive mental health crisis in this country, and that obviously is, bodies being polluted. The stomachs, the gut biome,
exactly.
Minds are not working correctly. People just are not functioning physically or mentally, even remotely close to optimum level.
Absolutely. And again, they're confused and they don't know where to start. I had a gal named Carol. She dropped 50 pounds just by upping her water intake in 8 months. 8 months.
Wow.
All she did was add more water to her life.
That's something so simple. But it's something you just said a second ago. It's caring enough about yourself to even do something in the first place. And it's weird because when those check engine lights go off on your car, it seems like we're way more apt to take care of our car than we are, our temple, the human body. It's kind of scary.
Yeah. We're busy. And unfortunately, most of the people that I work with, they wait until the wheels fall off. And then it's really bad.
Well, and it totally makes sense. You can be busy as you want to, but if you don't start taking care of these engine lights, the busy ain't going to matter because you ain't going to be around.
Yeah, and look at the statistics today. I mean, like if half of us are dropping dead of cancer and the other half is dropping dead of heart disease, or heart disease and having heart attacks, like that. You have a heart attack, you can't change your diet in some of these cases. You're dead. You can't you can't change what you're eating. You can't stop drinking so much and being so hard on yourself and working too much. And you just have to take responsibility for this stuff ahead of time. And it's kind of nice now because I'm getting a lot of people that they're seeing their friends drop like flies, and they're trying to get ahead of the deal themselves so they don't have to be part of those statistics. And here's the scary thing. If you look at bankruptcy in the United States, 62% is related to medical bills.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt that.
Yeah.
62%, over half the bankruptcies in our country are related to poor health and astronomical expenses in a medical industry that's completely out of control. $3.3 trillion is spent annually on healthcare, and we're ranked like 38th. That's a freaking broken system. So what I did, like my friend Charles, who got diagnosed with cancer, is we took responsibility for our health, and we went and learned how to detox and cleanse ourselves at the Hippocrates Health Institute in Florida, and we changed our lifestyle. And I went from a fat guy, 38 pounds overweight and skin issues and double chin, and I had an organ removed because my gut was jacked up, to I'm 45 years old and I feel like I'm 19 years old every day now. I have abundant energy, and I just want to download all this information to people so they can take charge of their health too.
And it is infectious, dude. You do a lot of Facebook Lives, a lot of hanging out with customer or clients, and you definitely, again, you walk the walk and you talk the talk. I mean, obviously your energy is quite palpable, and you obviously have a passion for what you're doing. And it's, obviously follow him on Facebook Live, and, your Facebook, and, you're doing that pretty much every day. So follow him.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. And I can't wait to tell you guys about the liver cleanse I just did.
Yeah, Pat, you missed that off air.
That was the one for New Year's Day, right? For everybody.
No, what he got
you're not
out
getting
of his...
you're not getting the joke. It's just
Oh yeah. Well, no better time than the present, my friend. So off air, he spoke about the effectiveness of his liver cleanse, and he has some gifts from his cleanse.
Let's hear about the liver cleanse.
Yes.
Yeah. So first off, this is kind of crazy. Like when I first heard about this stuff, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do this liver cleanse deal. And this was back when I first got started in this lifestyle. And I kind of half-assed it, and I was traveling at the time, and I didn't do it right, and nothing really happened. And I'm like, you know what? I'm living this clean lifestyle now. Probably not a big deal. So think about it. I've went from the biggest meat eater on the planet, hunting and fishing and killing everything, to I'm 99.9% plant-based dude for going on 8 years now, right? And so I've cleaned myself. I've done 7-day juice fast, 10 days, 11 days. I made it 26 days just drinking green juice. And I thought I was pretty good. This morning, I completed day 7 of my liver cleanse, and I had 300 to 400 of these liver stones and gallstones come out. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I got them in paper here. I saved some of them as a little present.
Oh, dude, come on!
Look at that.
What?
Look at those stones, man.
Are you for
I saved
real?
some of those bad boys.
Those are peas.
No, they're pretty.
Yeah,
gross.
dude, those are those jalapeno corn nuts or something.
Obviously, that didn't come out in your urine.
No, I sweated them out. No, I'm just kidding. No, came out through the bowels, Pat. Came out through the bowels.
What? Okay, wait. Okay. So, do you wind up, what's the word? Picking through the fecal matter to extract these stones?
Yeah, no, because what happens is you want to load for 6 days. You're taking lots of malic acid into your body. You can do that in different ways. You can do it with drinking lots of apple juice or apple cider. It has malic acid in it. That's what I did. I did apple juice, but it was a lot of sugar and kind of upset my stomach. So next time next month I'm doing only the malic acid supplement, and then on day 6 you start drinking Epsom salt water. And I have the manual for this if people are interested.
Epsom salt water?
Yeah, because what the malic acid does is it softens up your stones over 6 days.
Okay.
And the Epsom salt water will dilate your bile ducts so they're open. And then at night you drink down like a bunch of grapefruit juice or a combination of lemon juice with orange juice, and like 6 ounces of that, and then 4 ounces of like olive oil, cold pressed organic olive oil. You shake the crap out of it, slam it, and go to bed. And you don't move for 20 minutes. You just lie there like a frozen statue. And then you wake up in the morning, you slam more Epsom salts a couple times, and then whoosh, all these freaking stones come out. And I had like 300 to 400 of them come out. And I was like thinking I was all cleaned up because I'd been living this lifestyle. So
that's what I find so shocking, that you still had so much of, that's great. I mean, obviously you've been doing the work, but the fact that toxins are like that are still. Hold that up again, man. Show our audience once again.
Yeah. Liver stones.
Liver stones
and gallstones.
From a cleanse. Man. That's a cleanse right there.
That is a serious, dude. That looks like green Cocoa Puffs. Man? Holy shit, brother.
There
okay. They are right there. There they are. So that's the deal. It's like this year for me, it's all about cleansing. And I've been living this lifestyle for 8 years, guys, and
wow,
3.5 years working on this and my body, and I'm realizing it's all about cleansing. It's all about cleansing. Everybody coming to me, all my coaching students, like, I've tried everything. I keep hearing that over and over again. I'm like, have you tried cleansing? And they're like, no. Has your doctor tried cleansing with you? No. I'm like, maybe we should start there. So before anybody does a liver cleanse, and by the way, I'm not a doctor. I'm not prescribing medical advice. You always should consult with your physician before doing any of this kind of stuff. This is just me being my own doctor. I'm taking care of myself. It's like self-care, just like a bear does in the woods. I don't need, if I need a doctor for an emergency, thank God they're there, and I love them to death, and they provide a fantastic service, and we need them for certain things. But it's not the end-all, be-all for everything. Good health comes in this world today, this polluted, crazy, stressed-out world that we're in. The first thing is cleansing. And the first thing to cleanse is what Pat brought up. It's the gut, the digestive tract. Most people got about 6 to 12 pounds of that nasty fecal material packed and piled up in there. You got to sweep that stuff out. The Royal Society of Medicine said that 85% of all health issues stems from the colon. So we want to get that colon cleaned, and we also want to help people get their small intestine cleaned as well, because we know that can have like a black, brown, viscous, like mucoid plaque in there, and we want to sweep that out. So how do you do this kind of stuff? People are like freaking out. Well, one thing you can do is you can get a colon hydrotherapy session, which I had to cancel my colon hydrotherapy session.
Yes, you did.
For this deal.
Thank you, sir.
I would have been sitting on the colon hydrotherapy machine doing this deal live, but I thought that would be kind of funny.
That would have been for the people out there that are wondering what a colon hydrotherapy session is. That is a enema.
Well, you basically sit on a tube rectally, and water goes in and out of you gently for an hour, and it cleans all that crap out.
For an hour?
Yeah. And the average person that does that will drop 10 pounds of impacted fecal material. That's the average.
What?
So it's like, it's not the fat weight. Like if you want to lose fat, you got to get your colon clean first. I mean, I can show you, I don't even talk anymore. What I do is I show my clients the videos of inside people's colons that are healthy versus ones that have issues. And it's freaking nasty. And as soon as you see those comparisons, you're like, I'm going to get my colon cleaned. Right. So we have, developed a product to help people make it simple. Well, actually, we didn't develop this. This one has been developed for thousands of years. We just label it with Dr. Treadway. It's called Gut Cleanse Plus, and I brought it here today to show you because I want to talk about cleansing today. So this is the product. People can see it. It's called Gut Cleanse Plus.
That's what I take in the morning on an empty stomach. As
very, very simple. What you do is you take this. If you're not going to do a colon hydrotherapy session, which I highly recommend, you need to get that tractor cleaned out or the engine in your car cleaned out. Then do this. So you do 3 of these in the morning and 3 at night for 15 days. You have completed the initial cleanse, and then just do 3 a day in the morning for life. That's what Dr. Treadway, my formulator, does, and that dude's 70, and his skin looks like he's 35. Okay? I follow people that have results, not just somebody saying something.
Right.
So that's the first thing. So you'd want to get that colon clean first before you'd ever even consider doing a kidney cleanse or a liver cleanse or a gallbladder flush, because that pathway of elimination needs to be cleaned out first. Could you imagine if these toxic stones that I had got stacked up behind some polluted colon of mine and was down there rotting and festering and all that chemicals were coming out? I mean, I'd be in bed sick for a week, so getting your gut cleaned out is going to be your first step for energy and vitality, mental clarity, and losing weight.
Well, I don't know if you guys mentioned it already. There's more serotonin produced in the gut than in the brain. So that, gut health is absolutely essential.
Yeah. And we have, I was going to tell you guys too, we have that set up for you guys now. So if people go to chemicalfreebody.com/farmer,
yes,
then you guys can get credit for that. And then we made a special link for you guys. It's when you put at the checkout, just type in farmer and you get an additional 5% off, even if you're on auto ship, that's 10% off. So everybody on Conspiracy Farm gets an additional 5% on top of the auto ship if they want. So
there it is.
I will add that link, chemicalfreebody.com/farmer. I will add that link to the description of the video after we.
Yeah, awesome. So anyway, that's how I would start, is getting that gut clean first, drinking lots of water. So here's the message today. Drink the water, number 1, up your water intake. Number 2, chew your food until liquefied. This is another game changer, and if you're not doing this, the first domino in digestion does not fall, because most of digestion for fats and for your starchy carbs happens in your mouth when you secrete enzymes. That's very important. Now, the proteins and stuff, in the stomach, there's that hydrochloric acid and the pepsin, these other stuff down there. But all that stuff's going to shake and bake in the stomach, and if you don't chew your food well in the beginning, you're not going to get digestion. You're going to get fermentation, which equals gut rot, which equals leaky gut, means holes in your intestine. And when you have holes in your intestine, then you have these big food particles and microbes like viruses and bacteria, and they slip into your bloodstream, and it causes inflammation, and then you end up with health issues. You got thyroid issues, you're overweight, and you're fatigued, and gut issues, and all these things start happening. So, chewing your food is a really big deal, and guess how many people are doing it?
Not me.
Less than 4%.
I need to work on that, man.
People I track.
I catch myself all the time reminding myself to chew my food all the time.
If you want to do this, this is what I do with my coaching students. We just program their phone. Like, Pat, what time do you eat lunch?
Usually around noon.
Okay, so at noon you go into your phone and you write recurring appointment, chew food.
Till liquefied.
And then you repeat. And then every day, in 90 days, it'll buzz you and do the same thing at dinner time. And then you see it, chew food. In 90 days, you will be programmed just like they do with television programming.
Right.
Plop, plop, fizz, fizz, what a relief is.
Yeah.
I definitely need work on that, because when I eat, it's kind of a disgusting sight. And then afterwards, another thing you talk about, I always love washing down whatever I just wolf down with a nice cold beverage, and that's frowned upon as well. You're not supposed to necessarily drink anything right after you eat.
It's not so much frowned upon; it's just a matter of results.
Right.
So you just picked up number 3. So number 1's increasing your water intake to improve your health, and that water needs to be purified. Period. Number 2, and Brita filter's not going to work. Okay, it's not going to do the deal. In fact, Brita is owned by Clorox Corporation, so they put shit in it and then they try to take some of it out.
My buddy Ken Calcaterra, who you were on his show, he hosts Conversations with Calcaterra. Shout outs to him. Yeah, he's got a Brita water filter, and he just commented his the salt bath routine has been part of his agenda.
Oh yeah, man.
Shout out to Ken.
Dude, I've got all kinds of health hacks for people that want to come over and participate in this stuff. I've been geeking out on this. My goal is to live to it was 140. Now I'm going to live to 1,000. That's I'm going to figure it out.
Oh, see, you're taking a page out of Billy Carson's book from a couple episodes ago. Yeah, living to like 20,000 years old, like the Sumerian kings.
Write your own emerald
20,000?
tablets.
Right.
Oh, man.
Yeah, dude, they were living like 40,000. Right? Actually, their reigns were 20, 30, 40, 50,000 years. So that's not even their lifespan.
Who knows? Maybe I'll up my goal. In a
Chromosome 2, man, start lengthening them telomeres.
Yeah. Ooh, we'll be talking about that.
There you go.
Some cool stuff coming up with telomeres.
Good.
So anyway, for those folks listening, water is going to be a game changer for your life. Number 2 game changer is chewing your food until liquefied. It's the first step in digestion. If you don't do it, you're pretty much screwed. Number 3 is going to be avoiding liquids with meals. Now, if you've taken the time to hydrate your cells, drinking all that water so your cells can actually absorb those nutrients and burn calories effectively, now you've chewed your food really, 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 really well so you can actually absorb and break that down, have digestion, and then you go ahead and drink some liquids with meals, whether it's water or beer or wine or whatever, you're now going to dilute those digestive enzymes and you go right back to fermentation, which is gut rot, leaky gut, and health issues.
Yeah.
But if you stack these suckers together and you drinking lots of water and you're chewing your food and you avoid those liquids with meals, your gut is going to improve. You're going to feel better, and then you're going to want to make more changes because you're starting to stack engines and you're training in the right direction where you want to go, and you're going to build up some steam that way. And that doesn't cost anybody anything.
Right.
Best thing to do, program your phone. During your lunchtime, your dinner time, chew food, avoid liquids. And then, I always have people put probiotics and digestive enzymes during their meal times as well. Only one time a day for probiotics, but twice for the digestive enzymes. But that's the method right there. And then I have I put a pack together for you guys that I wanted to share. We can share it now or later, whatever you want.
Yeah, do it.
So anyway, for people that want to get started, I put the link at chemicalfreebody.com/farmer. This is called the Super Cleanse Pack. And you get 1 bottle of the Gut Cleanse Plus to clean the gut and the organ systems. They get 1 bottle of Critical Cleanse formula. This is the one that cleans out the blood intercellularly, the fat tissue and the muscle tissue, so your body can start dropping the weight and picking up energy. And then you also get a 30-day supply of Green 85.
Green 85, that's my stuff there.
This is the stuff that replaces the 85% of nutrition missing in the soil today. And we start a lot of people off on that Super Cleanse Pack, and that's just a good way to start. You can take those products in the morning in less than 1 minute, and you don't have to change anything else. If you just focus on the water, chewing your food, avoiding the liquids, and doing that pack in less than 1 minute a day and start there, you'll change. You'll transform. Program your phone, and you'll be off on your way. No question. I've just done it too many times for people to know.
Results, baby, results. That's what,
Yeah,
people...
it's exciting. It's really exciting to have something that actually works.
Well, let me ask you, I hear people talk about it a lot, fasting. What is the role of fasting, health benefits?
Intermittent fasting,
or just like, like Herschel Walker. I don't know, I was doing show prep on him because I'm trying to get him on the other show that we do. And, he eats like one day, or eats, like once a week, once a day. And it's just, obviously everyone's eating habits are different, but what is fasting in general? What's the benefits of that? And intermittent fasting.
Is a specimen, man.
He's insane.
He doesn't have a gray hair on his head, and he's 60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so
he's
ridiculous. You got
to
follow results, right? So guys like him are the people that I want to talk to, and I always take notes, and I find it out. And then you see the common patterns. So intermittent fasting, let's just go back. There's a lot of confusion on it, so I try to make things simple. If you go back, human beings have been around 200,000 years, and then for a long time we were nomadic. Like we'd walk for days without food, and then we'd come to a food source and we'd eat it. And most likely water wouldn't be there or drinks wouldn't be there. We'd have to walk and go somewhere else to get our drinks. So right there shows you that we wouldn't be eating all the time, which tells you that our digestive tract would give itself a time to rest and to clean itself out. And we don't do that today with breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and popcorn at night, and sardines and coffee. It's all this stuff.
And we have a much more sedient lifestyle.
Yeah, people just they're not moving around as much. And again, the liquids with the meals probably wouldn't be there.
Right.
Because in nature, bears, I guess if they're eating salmon, they might eat some salmon in the creeks there. But a lot of times, like when we're foraging for food, we know from the teeth samples that human beings eat mostly leafy greens. It's not to say that we wouldn't eat little bit of meat here and there if we could find it, but we didn't have guns back then or bow and arrows and all that stuff. So it's a lot harder to catch those creatures when you don't have, they're pretty fast.
Chicken, look at silverback gorillas, man. They just eat leafy greens and they're jacked.
Dude, they're badass. Like they can bend a rifle barrel with their bare hands. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I can do that.
Well, and I'm thinking at least my tribe hung out by the water, waited for the animals to come and drink, killed them, and be able to drink during your meal. So that
after your meal,
that
bud,
caused
after
the
your
problems with
Well, you just have to do a test. You have to do 30 days with avoiding liquids and go back and have 30 days with your meals to see how you feel.
It's so interesting, and I forget what I was watching, a documentary, just some video. It's even if you're like just strictly salad or just water or whatever, like you said, the water's tainted. If you're eating, greens or whatever, oftentimes the water or the fruits and vegetables are sprayed with stuff, or they're Monsanto seeds, or you know what I mean. So it's so interesting, not just what you eat, but like the quality of the food you're eating and water you're drinking is so imperative.
And the PLU numbers is something that we always have to remind people of, right? With the organic foods.
Yeah, totally. And it's it's really sad. And then I'll get back to the fasting thing because I want to finish up on that. But it's like, when you go into a supermarket and those price lookup stickers or PLU stickers that Pat was alluding to, if they start with the number 4, they're conventionally grown. That's pesticides, fungicides, herbicides, larvicides, all that jazz. If they start with an 8, that means they're genetically modified. If they start with a 3, that one's like conventional as well. And then if they start with a 9, they're organic. Well, unfortunately today, the organic produce still has chemicals in it. I know this now because I bought this $5,000 water machine last November because when I drank the water, it made me feel like Superman for 6 hours because it's loaded with hydrogen. But anyway, you switch the switch on this deal, and you can take your organic produce and soak it in this 11.5 alkaline water, and the toxins and poisons just come rushing out of your organic produce.
Oh, wow.
So it flipped me out. I'm like, holy crap. I mean, I don't eat conventional produce now unless it's soaked in that water. Or if it's, a rare occasion, I don't, I'm too freaking out about it because I'm taking my gut cleanse, my critical cleanse all the time. But
when people talk about organic, like, hey, I'm eating organic, but even organic, like you said, according to whatever the FDA, it could still have like 9 to 10% of bad stuff in it.
Oh,
and politicians are trying to get a hold of that to widen that gap to maybe like 15. It could still be considered organic with
the
15
food lobby's
or 20%.
gotten a hold of our politicians long ago.
For sure.
Yeah, and then the laws, even if they have certain laws, it's stupid. I mean, I talk to a lot of the farmers around here because I go to a lot of farmers markets and get my stuff from local farmers, and that's what I recommend people do. If you can, buy local. It just makes more sense.
It does,
It's stupid. I went down to Mexico last year, and there was produce in the Walmart in Mexico. I didn't even want to go there, but my friends wanted to go to get some food and stuff, and the produce was from United States. But then up here, I'm eating cucumbers from Mexico. I'm like, why don't they just eat their own shit and we can eat? It's stupid.
That's
why are
weird.
we paying to ship all that stuff and the tariffs and the fees?
Yeah.
It devalues. I mean, every day that stuff's getting. As soon as it's picked, it starts dying.
Right.
The nutrition drops off. 50% of enzymes are gone in 30 minutes in any vegetable that's picked.
It makes a huge difference because I've got my own garden at home every summer, and I tell you what, nothing better than pulling a tomato or cucumber fresh off that vine, man, and cutting it up and eating it. It is amazing.
Yeah, I got a little
It's awesome.
kick down from you last year.
Yeah.
What, you said you wanted to finish up something on fasting before we moved on?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So fasting. Pat was asking about that. So intermittent fasting and that kind of stuff. And you were alerting to Herschel Walker having 1 meal a day.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we should head to is the 1 meal a day thing, guys. It really is. But in the beginning, you tell people that and they freak out. They completely flip.
That's kind of what I do. I graze a little bit during the day and then chow at night.
Again, we get people back to just like, let's just get you drinking water first, chewing your food, avoiding liquids with meals, and get some cleansing going. That's step one. Once you got that done, then we can work on this other stuff. And then once they're feeling good there, then we start to get them to avoid breakfast because that's it. From 11 at night, here's why, until 11 in the morning, your body's doing a natural back flush or detox. That's when you wake up and you got clinkers in your eyes and stuff's coming out, right? So if you eat heavy foods, you're going to stop, you're going to break the fast, breakfast, you're breaking the fast, you're going to stop your body's natural ability to push toxins out, and today we got a lot of them. So now, for those of you that are diabetic or anorexic or bulimic, I'm not saying not to eat food, okay? Those people should eat monolithically. For the diabetics, they should have some type of food, maybe just eat quinoa or just eat a salad in the morning, whatever, because they're going to need that until their blood sugars stabilize down the road once they've healed themselves. Now, for those that are anorexic and bulimic, you still need to eat, okay? So I'm not giving people permission not to eat. Now, after that, then people just start having a big lunch and then they have a small dinner. And that's a good way to go for a while. And then eventually, if you can go past, 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and just have one meal a day, have a big, huge meal around 3, 4, 5 o'clock, then that's going to be much better for you because your body's going to go into, that ketosis state a little bit every day. And you're just going to burn up. It's this process called autophagy. Your body's going to start using up a lot of its own dead cells and stuff like that and cleaning itself up. And again, it's all about cleansing. So when you stop eating food for a while, give your body a break, it gives your body a chance to clean itself up. In fact, there's a lot of people out there, me included, like if I was having a serious health diagnosis, in most cases, if you just stop eating completely and just do water for 3 days, you can completely reset your immune system.
Really?
And that would be a really smart thing to do.
Just 3 days drinking nothing but water?
3-day water fast will do a complete immune system reset.
Somebody asked online here, was the $5,000 machine you bought, was it the Kangen water machine to clean your produce?
Yeah, it was a Kangen K8, and then I remember I learned about those back in 2011, and I heard that they were really good alkalizers, but they had a really crude filtration system, and I was told that the purification system needs to be number one. You want pure water, not alkalized. But what's happened now is like you can get a really good purification system for like $300, stack those together, run that in front of the Kangen, and the Kangen's got a new model now called the K8, and I got that one, and because it has an extra plate on it, and it basically what it does is when it goes through the Kangen system, it makes the water molecules small so you can actually absorb them, right? What the guy told me is like, look, your intestinal tract's like a chain link fence, and the water you're drinking through tap water gets condensed and high pressured in these city pipes, right? Because it's super high pressure to push that water all around the city. Well, that makes those water molecules big like a bowling ball. Try throwing a bowling ball through a chain link fence. It's not going to go through. The Kangen system is like turning that bowling ball into sand, and you throw it through the fence and most of it goes through. And I can tell you from drinking lots of water in my lifetime and promoting drinking half your body weight in liquid ounces daily of purified water, that this water is ridiculous. It just, like, usually I drink water and then I got to pee pretty fast. I can drink 2 quarts, 3 quarts of this water and it disappears. And then a couple hours later, then I have to pee a lot. So it goes all through my system. And the other thing that Kangen unit does is it electrifies the water. It literally charges it with electrons. And the whole goal over here with our coaching program is to get people's cells vibrating at 75 hertz. So we're all about energy and frequency. And that water does a damn good job. You guys talked about Ken and him taking those hydrogen peroxide baths I shared with him.
Mm-hmm.
That supercharges oxygen into your body, and you get like 4 or 5 hours of euphoria, mental clarity, and your physical feels amazing. I drank that water. I had 6 hours, about 3 times that amount of energy and vitality from the baths.
Now imagine.
I called rep after 6 hours. I was like, I need one of these units immediately.
Yeah. Now imagine. I mean, I've been reading a lot about epigenetics and the imprinting from the mother to the baby in the womb and all that sort of stuff, because everything around us is a vibration. We're all a vibration.
Totally.
And you just talked about how the cells vibrate and the optimum that they're supposed to be vibrating at. So, Inner Matrix is the name of a book that I've been reading, and the monks in Asia realize and recognize that mothers who are pregnant, say women that have been abandoned by their husbands, or the men who got them pregnant, or they were raped, these monks recognize that these children are going to be damaged from the word go when they come out. So these women would gather in with these monks, and the monks would work with them on positive thoughts and positive vibration and everything else to change this generation of kids that are going to come out, that Eastern philosophy, that knowledge, that ancient knowledge, they understood all of that. So imagine, modern times now, not only doing that, focusing on the positive and everything else, but also drinking this water that allows your body to vibrate. Imagine a pregnant woman doing all of that and how that's going to change the imprinting on that fetus.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. The gal that sold me my water unit had post-traumatic stress disorder and anxiety bad after childbirth. And I'd never even heard of that before. And I've been coaching a lot of people, guys. I mean, I've got people coming with all kinds of issues. It's rare I hear something different that I haven't heard about. And then I saw one of her posts, and there was a lot of women saying that they were suffering from the same thing. It's probably because they're just not talking about it, right? So That was a big problem out there. But this
Right.
water has given this gal's life back, and now she's on a mission to change lives. And the motto of that company is change your water, change your life.
Amazing how something, not, I guess it is simple, but how something so simple as water is,
And we are,
so,
you know, I mean, we are mostly water,
Right.
and the thing that it really, Billy hit on it,
Yeah.
and in this book, The Inner Matrix, it talks about it also.
right,
You know, the scientist that did the test on water, and he wrote
right,
words on pieces of paper and then taped them to the bottles that the water was in.
right.
And
Dr.
then-
Emoto.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
then took a microscope and inspected the water, and on the water that had pleasant words like love and things
Yeah.
like that on it, it was perfectly formed, and
Yeah.
it was, you know, it was the way it was supposed to look. And then the ones that had the words hate,
Anger,
and,
yeah.
and all these other things, it was all malformed and deformed, and it.
That's trippy,
Then you
man.
realize,
Yeah.
because we are literally almost all water, those words, unless you can control your mind and shut that stuff down, because certainly we take a lot of arrows for doing one of our podcasts, right? It's a lightning rod type
For sure.
show, but someone that you love and look up to, or someone that you adore, saying something bad to you,
Yeah.
it definitely, you feel it.
Well, I mean, you just brought up a little bit ago epigenetics, and that's, you know, a science started. One of the doctors was Dr. Bruce Lipton, and his book, The Biology of Belief, just speaks exactly to that. Like
Right.
how we think determines our biology, and you know, and not only how we think, but how we think about our environment, et cetera, just does so much to our biology, our physiology, et cetera. So it's the power of thought, man, and intention, et cetera. It's something I've really come to respect, man, honestly, and just conversations with people, you know, I really am very mindful of an intent. What is the intent of my words, my actions, you know, because I'm trying to develop some decent
I actually
karma.
got to meet Bruce.
Did you really?
Yeah, dude, he's just a lovable guy. And after, you know, studying his work and stuff like that, you know, he took me, which was kind of a guy that was really confused on spirituality and didn't even know what the hell's going on with all these different religions out there. And
Right.
everybody's saying that this religion's the best and that one's the best. If you don't do this, you're going to go to hell. And if you don't do this, this is going to happen. I was just a little bit lost in that arena for a long time. And what he did was he was like studying the cells, and he saw that the cells had little receptor sites on them.
Yeah.
And, you know, for years they thought the whole premise of the biology was that the nucleus was the powerhouse of the cell, which, you know, drove the cell's life force.
Right.
And so he took the nucleus out of the cell, and the cell lived.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that, and it was frequency. And then his question was, where is this frequencies coming from? And so the long and the short of it was, our bodies are like TV sets or radios, and we're getting a transmission from somewhere else. Where the hell's the transmission coming from? And then I was like, then I watched Star Wars, and I'm like, oh, I get it.
The Force.
Well, that's the thing.
Force, baby.
That's the thing.
Force.
David Clark, who's a good friend of ours on the show, and
Yeah.
and you know David Clark, you know the guy who
Yeah.
turned his life around, became the ultra running machine, and the Buddhist, just chill dude, man. He gets it, but he believes truly that, and Michael Chiavello says the same thing. My old broadcast partner at Access TV said, we are just radios. We can pick up whatever we want to dial in terms of vibes, in terms of emotions, in terms of pleasantries or bad. We can just tune ourselves into
Right.
picking up from the universe exactly what we want to bring into us, and we dictate all of that, and it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it really does. It's been pretty awesome. The synchronicity in my life since I've, you know, and if people are wondering like how to tap into this, I discovered last year it's really easy. You just follow your excitement and your joy.
Yeah. Your passion. Yeah, for sure.
That's some people call it the higher mind, God, he, she, or it, however you want to believe it.
Yeah.
But you want to tap into that. The view on the mountaintop from God, which is us or whatever, is coming down, and we're picking that frequency up. And that communication is joy. So when you feel happy, you're on your right path. When you feel excited, you're doing what you're supposed to do. That's the map. So if you're excited, keep doing that.
And it's so important, man. Like we're kind of alluding to, mindset is really important to overall health, including, exercise and stuff like that. That's why I cannot tolerate just psychic vampires in my life. People whose energy is just so resonating so low. And the moment you're happy or exude some kind of happiness, it like pisses them off. Like, what are you smiling about?
Yeah.
Like, I'm good.
Well, they just don't get it.
No, absolutely, and I just think that's really important, man. Just to overall health too is mindset. We kind of talked about that before we came on. John Militich, Pat's brother, is asking about biotic silver. What is biotic silver, my friend?
Did he say biotic silver?
Biotic or collateral silver?
Colloidal.
Oh, colloidal silver. Yeah, colloidal silver was like the original antibiotic. I mean, that stuff is pretty awesome, and I've had some clients that we've actually had the doctors for severe cases and do IVs with that stuff. It's hard to find doctors that will do it, but there are ones that will, and it's the original antibiotic.
I discovered it from having massive bronchitis problems when I was first starting my fight career. Every spring and every fall, I would get massive bronchitis. The change of the seasons here in the Midwest.
Yeah.
And my respiratory system was very, very sensitive, and I would get bronchitis, and it would destroy me and end up turning into pneumonia. So I discovered that.
Pussy.
I discovered the colloidal silver, and it definitely worked. So I recommended it to my brother, and I'm glad he asked you, the expert.
Yeah, it's totally awesome. It actually stops viruses from being able to replicate. It doesn't let them uncoil. So it stops viruses as well. And, we were told at the Institute that what you do is you get that colloidal silver. I think the brand was Sovereign Silver. And you buy the spray bottle for the nasal one.
Yeah.
When you go on a plane flight, every hour on there, a couple squirts up one nostril, a couple squirts up the other nostril, and that'll really limit your chances of picking up crap on the plane flight.
Is there any medical application? Because I was reading up on ancient civilizations and stuff like that. Monatomic gold. Have you heard anything about that and the application of gold, ingesting gold, et cetera, et cetera? Any health benefits?
Yeah, my formulator talked to me about that a long time ago, and I think I need to drink some more of this electric water to recall enough to be able to.
Well, I used to try it when I was bartending, called Goldschlager.
Oh yeah.
It didn't work. The Goldschlager didn't work.
Yeah.
Another message from Brother John, going back to the garden. His advice is dog shit is the key to great peppers and other veggies. Just ask Brother Pat.
Well, yeah, when you have a bunch of dogs, that's handy fertilizer.
I always thought you're not supposed to use like animal fecal matter to grow plants for fertilizer. Is that not true?
Well, why do they use cow shit?
I guess that's true. I guess duh. All right, I'm an idiot.
Something that'll freak people out, maybe. I don't know.
You already did that with your little bowl of Cocoa Puffs there you had coming out of your bunghole.
So this guy brought up a point to me. He goes, I do organic veganic farming, and I'm like, what does that mean? He's like, we don't use manure, and I was like, why don't you use manure? He said because those cows have been fed genetically modified corn and soy, and they've been injected with 70% of the hormones that pharmaceutical companies sell. He goes, so when you plant your crops in it, he goes, don't you think that's going to go into your plants? And I was like, oh,
interesting.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. So
one of our guys here, Kelly Jeffries, says he has a Kagan water machine in his office, and we are welcome to try it. I'll be anxious to.
Oh yeah.
Feel like bouncing off the wall for 6 hours after drinking water.
The key with that, I have not tried these other units. It's the K8 unit, and you have to turn that sucker on and pour it into a glass quart jar like a beer, because you don't want the little bubbles to go away. That's the one that's holding all those electrons. And then as soon as it's done, you slam it as fast as you can. It's like back to college, right? You got to slam it.
Chug,
get a beer, whatever. And then you wait 15 minutes, and right after you slam it, you put a little bit of Celtic sea salt or salt under your tongue, just a little teeny bit, because that's going to water follows sodium, and that'll even suck it in faster in your bloodstream. 15 minutes later, you can drink another one. Like this one, Jeffrey, I got a quart here. So you drink one of these, 15 minutes later, drink another one, and hold on to your horses. And if people are really polluted and they've been standard American diet, they probably want to start off with one, because it'll create a massive detox. I was able to do 3 of these because I've been eating so pure for so long, and I still had about a 30-minute like upset stomach kind of queasy feeling, but 6 hours of the most unbridled, unsustainable energy that I've ever had, and I bought that machine on the spot. I would have paid $10,000 for that machine. No question.
Wow, that's awesome. We learn something new,
I
a
know.
lot of new stuff every time we
I
have
know.
him on.
Well, and
man.
it's so weird having these conversations. I mean, it's like reading about Dr. Bruce Lipton. I'm like, wow, you just totally bridged the gap from the '60s and like, hey, new age, stay positive, dude. You know, just that notion or whatever they would just. But it's actually there's science behind it. You know what I mean?
You know, and his science is the leading edge.
Yeah, no, exactly. Epigenetics,
It's
without a doubt.
It drives me crazy because think about it. All these red ribbons or pink ribbons and all this money's going to genetic research.
Right.
And Bruce Lipton pretty makes it simple. He's like, well, if you put what they would do is they would put genes into a petri dish, then they would change the environment in the petri dish to cause cancer. They'd put a carcinogen in there, cause the cancer. And then what do? They study the cancer cell and wonder, how did it get started? Well, frick, it was the environment that they just created.
Yeah.
They created the environment that made the cell mutate into a cancerous cell.
He did that. We did that with. He would put one cell in an environment and it would create muscle. One cell in one environment it would create bone.
That's
I mean,
what
it's
he said. It's in the environment, stupid. He kept saying that. It's in the environment, stupid. So, like, if people want to change their health, it's the same thing. You change your freaking environment. What you breathe, what you drink, what you eat, and how you think. And the people you're around.
Exactly. I was going to say who you surround yourself with too, because it's like, again, psychic vampires are absolutely real, and they are out there. So it's like you definitely got to. I mean, all of this is all whatever for homeostasis. There's a lot to it, man. You know what you eat, what you do, how you think, how much water you. I mean, there's a lot to it, man.
And here's the cool thing: when you take responsibility for yourself and you change yourself, the people around you, most of them think you're nuts, like they thought I was. But when you stick with it and you get the results and your results last, eventually they come around and you actually give them permission to change themselves.
I like that.
Force them to do it. But if you change yourself and you follow your highest excitement in life, whatever it is, that's going to give them permission to follow theirs. And then we don't have to have this 74% of people going to jobs they hate and people that are in relationships that don't work. You know, we need each other to be following their highest excitement. We need everybody to be healthy.
Well, and even from like a metaphysical kind of energy standpoint, when you do start locking yourself down and start resonating at a higher frequency, I mean, somewhat relating to that law of attraction, you will start attracting more happiness and passion in your life, and then you will also start repelling those people who aren't supposed to be in your life. You know,
right?
But we got to pay attention to that stuff, though. I mean, it's like you said.
What's really cool is that. What I've noticed is my coaching students that are commission-based, like salespeople, within 2 to 3 months, their commissions are up on average about 22% more. Now, why is that? So when people come to get coached from me, they're coming for their health. They didn't come to get I'm not like a business coach, even though I did a little bit of that back in the day.
Right.
But their money increases, and it's because they change the frequency of their body. They have more energy. They're more attractive. People are going to want to do more business with them. At the end of the day, they'll make the extra call, the extra 10 calls to reach out and follow up with.
And just a more positive mindset. They're going to be. Look, people want to do business with you when you are pleasant and you are, you don't even. It just comes down to you. I can feel it from people who are truly happy inside. Mm-hmm. The minute I meet them, I know right away. You can just feel it. Those are the kind of people that definitely, like Jeff was saying, attract more positive vibes from other people.
Right.
And it literally creates its own money. It's like you are a rolling bank if you want to be.
Right. Intention has a lot to do with it. You know, it's crazy. But I mean, again, all of this, the mindset, man, like Anthony Robbins says, it's in the moment of decision where your destiny is formed. So it's like you said in the beginning, man, you got to care about yourself enough to surround yourself with good people, to eat the right, just to all these steps we're talking about. You have to care in the first place. Otherwise, it's just, pissing kind of in the wind.
Changing your diet and taking some supplements and drinking some water. That's the easy stuff. That's easy. It's what, and here's the sub basement level reason why people struggle with all this stuff. It's not so much that the foods are so addictive, which they are. It's not so much that the foods are so polluted, which they are. It's the stuff from their childhood. It's the emotional baggage.
Yes.
Right.
It's the stuff like, I mean, when I'm coaching people, they call me, and I'm kind of letting the cat out of the bag here a little bit, but they think they're going to get health coaching right out of the gate. And I am doing that because their health is their happiness, right? I start asking about their childhood. Where are you from? How was your relationship with your kid, your brothers and sisters? How was your relationship with your mom, your dad? Did your mom and dad get along? Was there any drinking, any alcohol? And it's crazy. Like, guys, 70% of these people are like, my dad threw me off a roof. My dad threw me over a fence. My dad threw me through a window. My mom was an alcoholic. She was a drug user. Guys would come over and rape me, boys included. all this
Jesus.
crazy stuff. Dad would chase me and shave our heads, shave our hair off when we were 11 because we didn't get good enough grades and just crazy stuff, right?
Just abusive childhoods.
Yeah, when you have all that crap down there and you've never dealt with it, we use food, we use booze, drugs, workaholics, sexaholics, check an email. We'll do everything we can to avoid that. And a lot of times we use food as a dope to push those emotions back down when they start coming up. And when you get cleaned and get cleansed and you clean out your gut and you clean out your brain, all that stuff, you can actually get to a point where you'll be at a point where you can allow that emotional stuff to come up so you can deal with it and get it out. And then when you get that crap out, you're going to be feeling like you're floating around on a freaking magic carpet.
And that's another thing, a psychological component I don't think people get. That's why the Jesuits say, you give me your kid from 0 to 6 and I have him for life. Basically, from 0 to 6 is when all your program is downloaded. And then from then on, you're pretty much just playing out the program that's been downloaded. So almost rewriting of the subconscious is really what needs to happen. But again, this is...
we can reprogram ourselves.
Yeah.
We can become our own director. Our
Physically,
own producer.
mentally, and spiritually.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Well,
The
cool,
to-dos
brother.
are easy.
Let's
To-dos are easy.
we have to wrap it up, but let's throw out that link again so we can track down some chemical-free...
Chemical-free body /farmer.
Yeah, and any social networking, other stuff, Twitter, anything you want to shout out so people can get a hold of you?
Yeah, and I want to make sure that those for folks wanting to try out the products that you guys have is get that 5% discount code. So when you go to checkout, just type in farmer and you get an extra 5%.
Sweet.
And when you go to chemicalfreebody.com /farmer for Conspiracy Farm, that'll take you directly to what we call the Super Cleanse Pack, and that's the pack that we usually start a lot of folks off on. It's an affordable pack, especially with the extra 5% off, and it'll just give you a little 1-minute thing you can add to your life. Add in the water, add in chewing your food, and avoiding those liquids with meals. Set the reminders in your phone, and like Jeffrey said, if you have a goal, maybe you're being inspired to make some change right now, pull your freaking phone out and type it in. Say, chew my food and avoid liquids, and program yourself, right? So that's it. You can also follow me on Facebook, chemicalfreebody.com, and also at Tim James on Facebook. I go daily. And then on Instagram at chemicalfreebodyguy. And guys, I really appreciate you having me on the line here again. It's been a blessing. And if there's one person out there that we can help today, it was totally worth it.
Yeah, one of our guests, Vincent, said this guy is on point. So some appreciation of your words of wisdom, my friend, and you are a fountain of it.
Last thing is, if anybody wants to get free coaching as well, when you go to /farmer, then you can click on the coaching tab, and you can schedule a free 30-minute health history coaching session with me to identify maybe what's holding you back, so we can just put this crap behind. And so 2020, you're setting a whole new bunch of resolutions and not the same stuff over and over again. We really want to help you.
I love it.
Just love yourself.
Absolutely. It all starts with belief in yourself, ladies and gentlemen. CEO of the Chemical Free Body, Tim James. Thank you, my man. Love you so much. Peace and so much love, ladies and gentlemen. There will always be more. Thanks, Tim.